Hey everybody, today I'm at the Radford University Ceramics Studio. Sometimes they call this the Art Annex, and there's everything you need down here to make ceramic objects, which of course are things that are made out of clay. And let's take a quick look around the facility. Right here we have wheels, which are machines that can be used to make a clay form. And as you guys have probably seen at some point or another, the wheel spins around, and then by applying pressure to the piece of clay, someone has the ability to raise or lower it and change the shape. These wheels are all electric. Let me see if I can get a view of all of them here. And so with this station, you can run a whole class or a whole workshop and have a lot of people working at once. This big table right here is for wedging clay. So before you can throw it on the wheel, you take your bag of clay and slam it down on this table to get all the air bubbles out of it. And it's actually kind of fun to do. Then you begin the process of making a form. This is really difficult for someone who hasn't had training, and there's a lot of subtleties and a lot of finesse to it. And to make a really symmetrical, beautiful object like this takes some patience and some training. The throwing process is just part of making a clay vessel, and after the wheel has been thrown or the object has been made, it has to be dried to where there's no moisture in it, and after that it is fired in a kiln. And back here we have a kiln room, and the kiln consists of these very high temperature ovens. These ovens reach over 1,000 degrees, and they're used not only to remove all the moisture from the clay, but after the clay is glazed, it's fired again in order to put a surface coating on it. So glazing with ceramics is not really like paint. It might look like a similar process when someone's applying it, but it becomes fused like glass as a part of the ceramic object after it's fired in the ceramic oven. So you make something, you let it dry, you fire it to dry it, then you apply a glaze, which looks kind of like a powder coat, and then you fire it again to turn that into glass. And what we have some people in the process of doing today are applying some glazes to some ceramic pieces. So the ceramic pieces have been made, and then the artists have carefully selected some glazing that's going to serve as a outer coating for the ceramics, and then they're using different methods to put that glaze onto the piece, and again it'll be fired and it becomes a permanent part of the ceramic vessel. It's not just a surface coating, it actually becomes fused to it, and it can look like glass. Here are some pieces that have had glaze applied, but they haven't been fired yet. And as you can see, you can tell it's a surface coating, but it looks sort of like a soft powder right now. Glazes are chosen based on different properties, of course, color, and also they have properties as far as what you're going to use that ceramic object for. If you're going to use it as a dish to eat out of or drink out of, then it needs a special glaze. In order to do that, there are other glazes that are just for visual reasons that you might not want to eat or drink out of because of different materials that they contain. But by looking at what did you say these? What term did you use for these? They're test.
Yeah, they're just test tiles.
Test tiles. That's the word I was looking for. Test tiles. You can select a glaze or color based on these test tiles, and as you can see, there's quite a few varieties and lots of nice different surface qualities, from very reflective to more matte finishes, all sorts of different options for glazing. Also involved in this glazing process is waxing the bottom of the ceramic. That's what we see right here. And so by applying wax to the bottom, the artist can help keep the glaze from sticking to the bottom and can make the process easier down the road. So is that one of your glazes that you're mixing up right there?
Yes, it is. This is persimmon.
Persimmon, right?
I'm actually going to use this underneath another glaze called tin muslin
And
to make an interesting effect. You can see that one here on this test.
okay, so it's kind of like underpainting. You're applying that color and that texture underneath before you put the other one over top of it.
Minerals will create different colors.
Nice, nice. And so are you going to spray this on and brush it on? Or?
I'm going to use the sponge for this and then wipe off the excess to fill in the veining on the leaves.
Nice, nice. We'll try to check in a little while and see some of these pieces in progress. Stay tuned.